Okay, so welcome back. We have another question from the first chapter of Mechanics of Materials, and we need to determine the average normal stress at section AA and the average shear stress at section BB in the member AB that we have. So we can see the two sections on member AB, and we also know that the cross section is square and each side is 0.5. So for finding the area, we are dealing with this square that is 0.5 by 0.5, which means the area can be calculated pretty easy, 0.5 times 0.5 or 0.25 inches squared. All right, so we are looking for, as the question is saying, we're looking for average normal stress, which we basically need the normal force over the area, and this is going to be the area of section AA. It's going to be a little bit different for BB because AA is not BB is not perpendicular to AB like the section AA. So the area would be a little bit different. And for finding the average shear stress, we're gonna have the shear force over, as I mentioned, we're gonna have a different area. Let's just call it A prime for now. All right, before starting this question, as always, we're gonna start with dismantling the whole system. What we need at the end, we are looking for these two sections. So it's going to be one section for finding the normal stress. So if we cut it at AA, we need to figure out the normal force. And the second section would be very similar. It's just we're going to cut it at point B. I'm trying to show it with different color. And this is going to be our shearing force. And all we need to do in here is to find the member, the forcing member AB. And for doing that, the best member to start with would be the member BC. So from the free body diagram of member BC, so C being here, and we can figure out that member AB is two force member, which means the force will be along this line. Let's call this one FAB. And we have the distributed load that is applying on top, which we know because it's symmetrical rectangle is going to be exactly at the center. So 2 feet from each side, and the magnitude would be 150 times 4 or 600 pounds. And we have a pin at point C, which means we need to consider two components, Cx, Cy, and what we are interested in here is the FAB. So we have the equilibrium equations that we talked about, sum of all forces in x equals 0, sum of all forces. In y equals 0, we're going to have one moment equation, which is going to be the best option in here. If you just find the moment about point C, counterclockwise positive, we get rid of cxcy, and we should be able to find the FBC. We also know this angle here is 60 degrees from the question. All right, so we have the moment of the 600, which is logwise, so negative 600 times 4 times 2. The distance is this distance, which is 2. And FAB, we can resolve it into x and y component. Obviously, the x is not going to make any moment, but we have the moment of y, which is counterclockwise. FAB, it's going to be sine of 60 degrees, and the distance is 4. And again, this will be equal to 0 because of the equilibrium. So FAB would be 1200 divided by 4 sine of 60 degrees. So 1200 divided by 4 sine of 60. And this is going to give us 346.41 pounds. And now that we have FAB, we can draw the free body diagram for each of the two members to find the N and shearing force. I'm trying to color code everything. So let's start with the first section, which is the section AA. And since we figure out the FAB direction is that way in that member, it means it's going to be the opposite direction the other member, and this is going to be our normal force perpendicular to the section. We obviously have shear force and bending moment as other forces here. This is going to be our shear force, and we have a bending moment too, but that's not something we're interested. We're looking for the stress, so all we need is just N, which if we do sum of all forces in this direction, we can call this direction maybe x prime. So if we do sum of all forces in x prime equals 0, we can conclude that N is equal to FAB. All right, so FAB we figured is 346.41 over the area was 0.25 inches squared. So this is gonna give us divided by 0.25. It's gonna be 1385.64 pound per inches squared. So PSI, or we can do 1.386 KSI. All right, that was our first section. The other section that we have is the long one, which is section BB. So as I said, this is going to be our shearing force. This will be the normal force, and again, one bending moment too. But we only care about the shearing force, and we have the FAB in this direction, again, same value. Because we're interested in V, we know also this angle is 60 degrees. We can just do sum of all forces in Y equals 0. Our Y will be in this direction vertical, so we have V negative FAB sine of 60 degrees. So the shearing force would be FAB, which is 346.41 times sine of 60 degrees. And let's see what we get. 346.41 times sine of 60. Yeah, that's going to give us 300 pounds. And there is a slight difference in here for the area. So obviously the area that we have, if you want to show it in here, would be this side times 0.5. But our area is this side now, which is if you look at this angle, we know this angle is also 60 degrees. So we know this is a right angle. If this is our A prime, if you just find the cosine of 60 degrees, you basically have A over A prime. And actually, these are not the area, it's just the side, but it can be written as area as well because we are dealing with this square. So because the other side, which is going inside the 2D screen that we're looking at, the other side is 0.5, and we can just call this something else. Maybe we can call this B and the other one B prime. So A and A prime would be, so let's call A, so cosine of 60 would be B over B prime, which means B prime is equal to B over cosine of 60 degrees. So the area would be the A prime would be B prime times 0.5, or B, which we know is also 0.5, so 0.25 over cosine of 60 degrees. So that's the only difference for the shearing force. So the shearing force was 300 pounds, and the area would be 0.25 times cosine of 60, which is going to go to the numerator, and let's see what we get. So 300 cosine of 60, and we have 0.25 here, which is going to give us 600 psi as for the final answer for the shearing stress. Hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.